Hi guys, I've come on tonight to start some videos that have to do with the situation that I'm going through right now. And I thought it best, it's been a couple weeks since it has started, but I've decided to document the entire situation for you and for myself as well, and to use it as a witnessing tool so that you can see how God works in this situation in my life. Now, the end result has not been seen as yet, but I'm making this knowing and trusting that God will indeed do something so that everyone can recognize that indeed He is God and that He's in charge of everything. So basically what I want to talk about in this first video is how God speaks to us and what it is to hear His voice. Is it a literal voice? Is it something someone says to you? Is it something that you hear? And so I thought to name this one, Can Anybody Hear Me? God must question whether we hear Him or not sometimes by the way we react. And the situation that I'm going through is a choice between my religious beliefs and a choice to do my exams that will infringe upon what I believe. So I'm going to explain it to you a little better. So I am a 7-day Adventist, and what that means to me is that the 7th day, which is Saturday, is the Sabbath. And I know all of you may not believe that, but I believe that my entire story still has something in store for you, because this is the same God that we're all worshiping. And so, as my belief is that Saturday is the Sabbath, and thou shalt not do any work in it, thou, thy son, or thy daughter, the 4th commandment that says to remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy, I have decided that I will not do the exam that I have scheduled for the 31st of March, which is a Saturday. Now, I've spoken to the faculty, me and 3 other persons in my class who are Sabbath keepers, and they have each time refused or have made it seem that there is absolutely nothing that they can do for us, and that we're either going to have to do the exam or not do the exam because there's really nothing they can do for us. Now, when this situation first came up, I wasn't too perturbed about it. I didn't even think about Saturday being the date, and it didn't cross my mind that I wouldn't be doing the exam, because initially my first thought was, oh my goodness, my exam is on a Saturday. Oh no, it's my final exam that will determine whether I move on into my clinical years and whether I become a doctor or not, or what's not. I'm definitely going to be doing this exam. But then one Sabbath, as I was at church, because it had been bugging me a whole lot, and I was praying to God, asking Him, is this something you want me to do? Or is this an opportunity for me to be a witness for you? And so, while deliberating with myself and with God and trying to figure out if I'm hearing the Holy Spirit's voice, if it's me talking to myself, trying to figure out what all these voices in my head were, I went to church that day, and I was actually about to leave to go to the hospital because I had a session. And I just sat in the car for a few seconds, and lo and behold, a poem was read, and I could hear it from outside. Actually, it wasn't a poem, it was a mission story, a story about another 7-day Adventist girl who lived abroad, and she also had an examination on the Sabbath. And she told her examiners that she wouldn't be able to attend. They said there's nothing they can do for her either. But what she did, she went to church that Sabbath. She did everything she was accustomed doing. And when the sun had set that Saturday evening, she she decided to go to the place where her exam was taking place. And when she got there, much to her relief, much to her, I guess, surprise as well, but I doubt, because she actually went after the exam should have been long finished. But when she got there, the exam was still going on because there was some problem and the time had to be pushed back. And it so happened that she was able to do her examination. And after hearing that, I thought to myself, was that meant for me? Are you speaking to me, God? Are you talking to me? And subsequent to that, I'm driving on my way to the hospital and the CDs we have in the car is playing. I just heard that mission story. And the song plays and it's called Love Letter. And what this song is basically saying is, Jesus is telling us, I wrote you a love letter to let you know that you're the one I'm thinking of. And I thought to myself, what are the odds that this song should play after me hearing that story, that love letter from God? What are the odds that I hear a song that says, God is writing me a love letter to let me know I'm the one he's thinking of? And so I still wasn't that very convinced. And I still questioned, as we tend to do sometimes. And later on in that day, I came back to church. I didn't stay at the hospital very long because I didn't want to stay for that teaching session, because as Adventists we don't go to class on Saturdays, etc. And so I came back, and the special music for our service that afternoon was a girl singing a song called Only If God Says Yes. And meantime, this whole week I was asking God, what is it you want me to do? Should I go and do this exam? And that question was really on my mind that Sabbath morning. And to hear the song, it's only if God says yes that I will choose. And it's only if God says yes. I was like, God, you're really speaking to me, aren't you? And so that day I really felt that God was speaking to me. But despite that, I have to let you know that there were still some doubts in my mind with the weeks to follow. And there was a struggle that I was having and that I was going through. And so I'm going to share that with you in the next video. I really hope you stay tuned, because regardless of your beliefs, I believe that the end result of this story can touch you. I mean, I have watched numerous people testify that were not of my faith, and the testimonies were so riveting that I thought I should share mine, regardless of if we share the same faith or not. And so I encourage you to stay tuned so that we can see together what God has in store for me, and that if he can do whatever it is that he has doing it for me right now, that he can do it for you too.